What's going on, everybody? It's your man, Austin Champ, and I'm in the HyperX Arena bringing you the season finale of UsernameTaken Live. I'm beyond honored to bring my next guest in. She is well-storied. She's a second-generation ballerina that went on to become the person that brought you Smosh Gaming, a huge part of the gaming ecosystem as we know it, this content creation space. And this person I'm speaking on today is Miss AtomicMari Takahashi. Thank you so much for joining me. How are you feeling?
I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
No, like I said, it's an honor. You've really been somebody that, you can look back on YouTube videos around gaming and around this culture that we've all come to know and love, and you've been a backbone at that, getting credited in some of the most craziest moments. I think you were in Times Square about your game. Talk about that.
On a billboard?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's like a banana situation, one after another, where I just feel like one of these days somebody is just going to open the door and be like, hey, this is a dream. Get out of here. Go on the normal track. But I mean, year after year, it still blows my mind. It was a moment where, I think for my parents' generation, it's often difficult to grasp what all of this means and what it is and what an audience is and, how numbers equate into all this and impact and culture and all that stuff. But they understand what a billboard in New York Times Square is. And so that was a moment, it was a validating moment.
Oh, that's huge. No, I know it's in this path that we kind of trudge, like you said, it's not like there's a lot of people usually that see the vision or understand the end game. Like, what do you mean impressions? You need to be worried about the impression people have of you. I don't care about how many people you're reaching through your online community, Like it doesn't equate to something that's tangible to them.
Yeah, it's so new. It's still weird.
Your parents are still thinking what you do is weird? Because, I mean, of course, I kind of prefaced it earlier, you were doing more dancing and things like that. Now, you went through content, you've done most everything from the highest scale budget things to things kind of like we're doing here in-house at the HyperX, and now you're a co-owner of a huge organization in the space. So do you still feel like that? Like, do you still feel like they don't really understand, or is it like kind of a disconnect?
I think that their not understanding is always just my fault of not communicating it correctly, right? Like, they're enamored by all of this.
Okay.
I think they're proud of me, and I think that they understand that it's something big. But if they're ever confused, I think it is my duty to like hold their hand along rather than feeling like they're getting left behind.
Right. They were for a different world.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they were from the generation where it's like you do one job your whole life, you get really good at it, and then you retire and then you live your life, and like that was every generation ever before this one, which is still, I think, what a huge adjustment for their lifetime, and what a great time to live in for all of us.
Do you ever catch your parents like consuming like content, like scrolling on like short form or?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It's starting to like really like. There's people I would never have expected. They tell me they're up late hours nights, 4 to 6 hours.
I know.
On the short form.
I have moments where I go to dinner with them and I feel like the parent where I'm like, can we put our phones down? Can we have a conversation here? And
I'll say we produce it, so it's like.
I know. Sometimes it's really nice to get away. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and maybe it is, it's a luxury, I think, now to be able to put down the phone and have the ability to like detach, because it's like it is our duty, but at the same time, every single app out there it's designed to clinch into you and keep you locked in,
They know
and
the formula.
Yeah, and it's a very good formula. So I think
you help them create it.
Bro, those are the moments where I'm like, oh my gosh, what have we done? And it's like content creation nowadays, there is a playbook on it, A to Z, how to get a YouTube channel going, monetizing, all that stuff. There are playbooks on there. And if you follow it, you can make a living out of this.
You talk back in the old YouTube days, we might be dating ourselves a bit, but the likes and dislikes were shown.
Oh, yeah.
And you talk about often how your first video technically it looks as if it bombed because it received a lot of downvotes, right? Who's this girl that's in Smosh now? Like,
Yeah.
who is this, random chick that's putting out this content with them? And your boys was like, nah. Talk a bit about that.
It's a wild thing. So for context, the year is 2011 at this point.
Right.
Smosh has been around since 2005.
Correct.
They're I think the third biggest channel at that point, rising up to number one. The atmosphere is like Ryan Higa, Ray William Johnson,
Yep.
that sort of era. And Smosh has been operating as a two-man team for the longest time, and all of a sudden they hire me to make my own show. I'm a one-woman show, directing, hosting, writing the comedy, and everything, and which I had never done before. I was naive enough to say, "Sure, I can do that," and like, who in their right mind does that? I have no idea.
Especially like because it wasn't something like. Now somebody might pick up that knowing like, oh, this could become $1 million thing.
Yes.
Now, back then it's like, this is just some silly cat videoscape or Ray William Johnson's over
then-
doing meme news.
Yes. Back then, it was an outlet for me to run away from my real job, which was doing ballet full time.
Right.
And that was my 9 to 5, 5-day-a-week job plus performances. And this was my scapegoat to say, I got a different thing that I got to put my brain, working on. And so I took this side gig. And the very first video that came out with me, it's Ian and Anthony who are Smosh. They introduce the video, and then for the rest of it, it's just me. And I remember the dislike bar that you mentioned was like red, just stark red for dislike, green for like. And the amount of dislikes was something I still can't fathom. I think it was like 15,000 dislikes. And within the first week, I think it hit 1 million. And like, these are like numbers, 1 million views, sorry.
Oh, I was like,
Yeah.
whoa, what was that?
Yeah, no, it was 1 million views and
Who we
like
beating up from Harvey?
15,000 dislikes to maybe like 12,000 likes.
Okay.
I mean, you can really see where that bar is. But I think at the time, yeah, this wasn't a career. People weren't making real careers out of it. Numbers that are that big, even now, to me, they feel like make-believe numbers. Just
Right.
inflated. I don't know what 1 million people look like in front of me.
Right.
And it's like, I think that it never really stuck with me or penetrated that deep that I had like scar tissue built up because in some ways I was naive enough to be like, I don't know what that means. It's just I see green and I see red and there's a lot of red. And then the other reason was I had my career. And so when the YouTube thing was like, oh my gosh, a lot of people online hate me. I'm like, I don't know what that means. I gotta
cool.
run.
I'm super cool.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
I'm like, I gotta run to my real job. Bye.
Facts.
And so there was a little bit of being naive. There was a little bit of like, it was just so early on that people not liking you online didn't mean anything back then. I was like, I don't know who these folks are.
That's real.
I don't know who Cat Person 66 is. I've got a job and I know who those people are.
Right.
That was real to me.
No, but and like you said, it was millions of people seeing these things, but you still go out and talk, or even to this day, you can go out and ask people. You saw the Mr. Beast video that just came out?
No,
And
which one?
I'm just saying, like 60
yes,
million people did, but then
Yes.
I never really find somebody that's like, oh yeah, I watch every Mr. Beast video on drop, but it's like, it's interesting how so like even before this was even a mainstream thing that people were on for a For You page that people are actually clicking on. You were in the skate, so it's very interesting. And we kind of brushed through a whole lot of your early life in that way, but you've talked about you became a professional ballet dancer. And
Yeah.
So where were you working? What house were you dancing at? Or
I was at the Oakland Ballet.
oh, nice.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and I went professional at 17. I started ballet when I was 2.5.
Your mother was a ballerina.
Yeah, ballerina, my coach. And so it was kind of a very straight shot track for the rest of my life. Dance until my knees break, teach ballet until I die, and that's my whole life, you know? And it was like, I had it all laid out for me.
When you put it that way. Sheesh. That art discipline-scape is very much that way. You know, you dedicate your life to this craft in a way, and after you spent your time shining that star, you go in, you raise up the next generation.
Yeah.
So it's
exactly.
It's interesting that that you had that. So you had also a mother that kind of knew what it took to become professional. So your whole life was regimented in that way of like a high performance athlete. Is that like the structure that was kind of brought to you every day?
It is the best, I would say, parallel to it. Because I would go to school, but then I would be pulled out early to start training earlier in the day, and I would train until 10 p.m., do my homework after that, and still wake up for school. I'd be out of school for full seasons because I was on the road.
Oh, that's why people shouldn't have been cheating off your tests, you were saying, because you weren't even in class.
Oh my gosh, people would cheat off of me, and I'm like, you and I are both going to be in detention.
No. Like, look, it's not me.
Yeah, bad move, bad move. But yeah, it was my entire life. And so I think that athlete mindset, you know, knowing that putting your effort towards something, it does achieve something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it might not be winning the gold, or it might not be having, you know, pulling off the perfect performance. But I think that I saw that effort in equals, you know, output at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. And that has reverberated in everything that I do.
Right. Once you get that framework in your life, it does that. It naturally just starts to transfer to everything that you do. And I could imagine that's how you're kind of sitting where you are today. And you were even comfortable at that moment back when you didn't know what landscape you were stepping into to really take on a workload that was foreign to you, or take on something that felt like, I'm not a show writer, I'm not an executive producer, I am not a comedian, I don't do any of this, but why the hell not? Like, who's going to stop me from figuring it out? Who's going to stop me from just, you know, enjoying myself? And if these two guys that they are relatively reputable, I mean, they had number 3 channel in YouTube at the time. I mean, there's not a person in that space
10 million
that didn't know
subscribers in
Insane.
2010. I mean, bananas numbers. I still don't understand what that means.
They paved it. They paved the entire way, and like I said, you were a big part of once they. So what was that shift kind of like? So when they did the audition, they were looking for people to kind of start collaborating with.
Yeah. Well, they called it an audition. And so, you know, coming from a theater background, I'm there with a resume, a headshot, and I'm expecting like, okay, we're going to be, you know, like maybe reading some scenes
ready.
Or
stretching in the parking lot.
Yes, I'm mentally preparing myself for what I have an idea of what an audition is. And mind you, this is the second time I've met them. I met them the day before, and I was I basically looked on Craigslist for entertainers. It's called San Francisco Casting, SF Casting, and it's basically a Craigslist for entertainers. And saw this gig where they needed somebody who spoke Japanese, and so I answered that, did the gig, paid $50. Great, it was awesome. Just got along with the two guys. I didn't know who they were. But we got along great on set, and they're like, hey, would you come back tomorrow for this recurring role? Which I still, if you ask what a pivotal moment in my career is, it's that moment, because I almost didn't show up.
You were like,
Well, it was a 4-hour drive back and forth.
Oh, okay.
Or 2 hours, 2 hours there, 2 hours back. And I'm like, well, why would I do a recurring role? I have a career, I have a job, you know? So like, does this make sense? But I showed up that day. And if I hadn't, I wouldn't be sitting here with you. Like, isn't that weird? Yeah. There's no way I'd be doing what I'm doing if I didn't show up that day.
Massive. You answered the call. That's kind of something I've heard a lot about when you interact with people, and when we got a chance to kind of, when I first met you, was here at the HyperX Arena. We were working with some awesome people, kind of just talking to some creators and instilling whatever we could about what we've learned from this crazy industry that we found our footing in. And that was a big thing, just showing up and being a positive force, being somebody that's enjoyable to be around and ready to answer that call. You know?
Which is like in other words, like being a professional, right? Like showing up to the thing and then being as professional as you can, no matter what you're working in. And I think that, you know, like I'm jumping around here, but like I think that's what I love about Space Station, where it's like we take gaming seriously, we take the sport seriously, we take the competitive scene seriously without taking ourselves too seriously.
Okay.
And it's like I think that being able to maintain relationships like that within any industry that you're in, take the work seriously, be professional, but also like be personal and like and I don't know. I think that if that first day with Smosh didn't go well, they wouldn't have asked me to come back the next day. I show up the next day, like looking for a real audition, and instead I walk into a room kind of like this, kind of narrow, and Ian and Anthony are sitting on one end of the entire room. So think of like a narrow corridor, and they're on one end with one singular camera, and they're like, go to the other end. And so I'm standing there, and they ask me questions like, what's your favorite Pokemon? What would you bring to a zombie apocalypse?
And you're just like,
I'm like, where are my scenes?
Do you have sides? Where are the sides?
I was so confused and a little bit aloof. I still look back at that audition, and I think I'm, you know, part of my brain is like, just do the work, be as professional as possible, and the other side is like, where am I? What is this? You know, it's just like.
So before you had answered that call and drove over there, had you done any research of like looking online, looking at their following, seeing any of the kind of content that they were putting out?
I think the evening that I went home, I looked them up because I realized that the first video that I was going to be in with them, where I was just speaking Japanese for a little bit, Ryan Higa was the guest on that. And I was a huge Ryan Higa fan. Like I watched YouTube for Asian YouTube stars,
which was so big in that time. Like,
oh my gosh,
you know, you talk about like your AJ Raphael's doing music with J.R.A. Aquino's, and you know you have like
oh my gosh, Michelle Phan and Kev Jumba, like
Kev Jumba, that's peak
my
times.
Gosh. And like they were the reasons why I ran to YouTube, where I'm like, oh my gosh, there's Asian Americans. And,
we can't leave out Timothy De La Ghetto,
you know,
bro. Sorry, Tim.
I just saw him a couple weeks ago too.
Okay,
yeah, I'm like, there's Asian folks who are the main characters of their storylines, and for the first time, you know, seeing somebody like Michelle Phan, like, I'm like, I felt beautiful in my skin for the first time because somebody was giving me validation that this was good. You know, like I'm working with good stuff here, and like. I think that is still the heart of YouTube. Yeah, there's like playbooks on how to be successful and monetize and all this stuff, but like at the heart of it, it's connections and being able to say like, oh, if that person's doing it, I think I might be able to do it myself too. And I sincerely hope that is not lost within all of content creation these days.
I feel that. There's been a lot of players in the space, you know, and there's been a lot of direction and algorithms and machine learning and fragmenting of the society, you know, but if the community, I think the community might be that thing that's stronger than anything, right? And it's always going to find its way through. The truth will always find its way through, right? And I feel like right now YouTube has been in a good space, right? I feel like people are still... you know, even through some of the changes and, you know, maybe your front page looks a little different or how your subscribers come through, it might feel a little different, but I still enjoy the kind of content that I see getting posted to YouTube. I can't say that for every other site that I'm kind of seeing things and shifting of the culture. So.
Yeah, I think there's something really interesting about that because, like, you know, you look at any industry, whether it's, you know, gaming specific or film or whatnot, content creation. And I think that whenever something starts to become really successful, there's a lot of suits who come in who are like, all right, how do I get in on this? How do I get into the culture, you know, and start to like really try to dig in deep so that they can monetize the thing. But the one thing that you can't like BS around is like how things make people feel. And YouTube and content creation, there's something so personal about it that I think that there's these like gut feelings. I think that people can like, I don't know, sniff out, like Malcolm Gladwell calls it oh my gosh, it's one of his books, but it's all about how you can like sniff out a fake thing versus a non-fake thing.
Right. It's kind of like how we've lost that touch I would say the general demographic has lost that touch of the interpersonal connection and being able to feel things out in person. They're hyper aware of how it feels to be online. They really know how it feels to be fished upon.
Yeah.
They were in the Grand Exchange on RuneScape. Somebody led them to the wild and beat them up. You know what I'm saying? Like, they had those kind of moments online. So they can read, people read your text and they hear your voice, even though, especially if they know you in that way. So
it's definitely changing, but I think that we still have these like gut feelings of like, this feels right, this doesn't feel right. And like, no matter how much I think like, no matter how corporate some things start to get or try to get, I think that the voice of like folks calling things out is as strong as ever. And I think that's a very cool thing.
Right.
In some ways it's changing the industries so much faster, whether it's, film, TV, music, gaming, all like every facet is changing really, really fast.
I mean, podcast space.
Yeah.
You can even say that's a huge reason. Like, there's a lot of people right now that are just back to chatting. We're talking about things. And I think Cat Williams said it best, time to kick off the year of craziness. Like, 2024 is going to be a lot of truth coming out, and you're already starting to see it. Like, you can't really keep suppressing what's powerful anymore. Too many people are seeing it. Too many people are being affected by it.
Yeah.
So, and there's not much to all get behind besides the fact that we all know how we collectively are starting to feel about a lot of things. So yeah, that sound is getting powerful, and I like how you're kind of alluding to that, but we're going to allude to even more awesome topics in segment. I want to even talk mainly about your space station gaming and begin to the next part right after our commercial break.
Transcend humanity with Omen.
What's going on? Welcome back from that short commercial break. Message from our amazing partners that have made this finale episode possible. We've gotten to double digits.
That's awesome.
Do you remember when you hit your first double digits on the project you started with Smosh?
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember that day of your 10th episode?
It's the moments like this where I'm glad you're taking note of it, because I don't think I did enough. Because it just kind of flew by, and I'm like, and I couldn't quantify what it actually meant. I just kind of like put my head down and just kept going. But
you had a lot going on.
Sure.
You did.
Sure. I had a lot going on, but at the same time, it's like it's a little bit of like, I didn't see the full vision. I got really lucky. I worked really hard, and it was a gut feeling that it was the right move. I just didn't know why, But it's like, I think taking the moments to celebrate is so important. And like, there will be plenty out there that will say that it's not enough or it's not worth celebrating yet until you hit the next milestone and whatnot. And it's like, man, celebrate every single moment. 'Cause it's like, being able to do this, being able to create something into the world, being on a set, having a crew behind, and we're all working on getting this together. You know, like there is magic in that, and what a privilege it is to be able to get to do this and like celebrate every single moment, man. It's big stuff.
I appreciate. Yeah, no, I'll be in the group chat putting. We just put everything on Spotify, Apple. Go listen to us on Spotify, Apple, and all your major places where you find audio streaming. But I put it there, and we got to 100 streams in like a couple of days or whatever.
Oh, that's great.
And I was like, see y'all at 500. Like that's me for sure. I'm that corny dad that's like, if we're gonna put, I see the diamond play button right here from the pot.
Yes.
I love to paint those pictures and. It helps me step up to the plate too, because I know I need a plan that's going to get me to those places. You don't just get those kind of accomplishments by not doing the work. We both come from backgrounds where it's like, we see the difference between the people that just have talent and the people that have talent and do the work.
I want to know more about your background.
I haven't talked about myself too much on this podcast series.
Now we're flipping it around.
The second segment is the Austin interview. No, I was actually really I started as an athlete. I just loved winning. I think that's a very common thing in a lot of people that gravitate towards being a human, honestly. It's just a very human thing, whether you like winning at badminton or you like winning at high performance video games like League of Legends. Like,
for sure.
We enjoy that rush. And I was a winning fiend. I just loved to win. My last name's Champion. I was born this way. I always say that. Like, I was born just to think
Destined.
like I need to be on the back of a jersey. I need to be in a hall. Like my name craves it, right? I'm like, why are we not? Like, where's where family money at? I'm like, who? I actually found out we actually did have family money, but somebody drank it all away.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he drank and gambled it all away, which is awesome. I'm like, I'm bringing that back, so don't even worry. Like, yeah. That's all me. But anyway, all that to say, I was starting to get pretty serious about running cross country, running track. I was a long distance runner, and I was doing Junior Olympics. I was traveling. I was doing that thing. I wanted to be on 2020 Tokyo Olympics, actually. Wow. The ones that just passed. I wanted to be USA's finest.
Track.
I wanted to be podium. I wanted to be like the next face in distance, like be a superstar in distance running. Because sprinting always gets that love, but you can't name like the best mile runner ever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and rarely is it in America. We usually have other countries that are amazing at long distance running, which is awesome. But I was trying to beat them all. Anyway,
that's incredible.
My wife got me to pivot to performance art, though. Essentially, like she was that girl in the theater. She was really beautiful and very persuasive. And she said, I already was kind of singing choir and things like that. And music was already a part of my life, but not really like that kind of music. I was trying to do, if I did music, I wanted to do R&B or do like, like hip hop or like,
You're
something like
and we're doing Les Mis.
Eventually, yeah, it got there. I was there. I was doing the Marius. I was doing all that. But, so I got to essentially start winning in musical theater. And I just wanted to win. And I was touring the world doing the lead vocal track for Feld Entertainment's Sesame Street Live.
Incredible.
When they took that show from V-Star. I'm sure you know V-Star company. They were doing Sesame Street Live for like 20 years. It was a very long running, but we took that, made it into like this big Broadway show. I got to go there, and I'm just a kid from North Las Vegas at that point. I mean, my father, military background, things like that, and I had moved around, but I really was just in North Las Vegas, and I was not made to be Madison Square Garden on the marquee next to Elmo rapping and telling the kids like about community and things like that. But, I'm there, and then I'm opening for Imagine Dragons, 60,000 people at NRG Arena.
Wow.
Like, what's going on, everybody? Singing and dancing my songs and doing it, and it was like, it was awesome, but it never felt like that thing, It never felt like it was the show I wanted to be, or even doing shows in general was what I wanted to be. Like, to me, this isn't a show. Like, we of course we are making a show, but I didn't want to do lines that were scripted. I didn't want to be in a rigid, like, I do this 500 times. Like, I did that show maybe 1,000 times. And people are like, you're so good. I'm like, yeah, I did this 1,000 times. So I hope I'm getting better,
It's such an interesting thing because, I always say no matter what you have done in the past, none of it is in vain, and like there's a lot of people who want to be doing this for their careers, want to be making content or going into professional gaming and whatnot. And there's this feeling that there's not enough time in order to get there. Like it's got to happen right now. But I think you coming from such a wealth of a background that had nothing to do with this, really. No direct parallel to what this is.
And the whole time I'm on tour bus, I'm just like watching LCS. I'm just like, with my AirPod, and they're like, I'm showing up to the notes like, gosh, I really don't want to turn this off. Like, I'm just listening to falling asleep, listening to Kobe, breaking down, and now how Raz was there with us when we were here, like watching his LPL streams that he was doing and breaking down the Chinese scene and whatnot. Like,
it's just such an interesting thing where it's like you can go on a windy path and still get exactly where you want to, but it's having the patience to allow yourself to go on that windy road, even if it might feel so far away from the thing. And I don't know, I think having like a wealth of experience before you get to the destination makes the destination that much better. You know what I mean? It's the whole like enjoy the journey sort of thing. But I think these days, like, we want to get to a certain milestone so fast, and the reason why we want to get there so fast is because we see so much around us. Like,
Right.
we see so much competition more than ever.
It's everywhere.
Ever. And
They'll
so
put it on the marquee.
Yeah.
On the billboard as you're driving down the street. You see, there's Mario Takahashi being an amazing content creator, and nobody watches my stuff.
Oh man, and it's like
Right.
I have these existential moments where I'm like, I'm part of the problem.
No, not that. Yeah, right.
No, but it's like it is this thing where it's like, there is a very, very fun life to it, and at the same time, it's so easy to get away from the things that are real and tangible, and what you just mentioned, where it's like it feels like 2 people in a stream isn't enough, or like you expect to have 2,000 like the
Right.
folks who are on front page, and I think coming back to reality and reminding yourself that 2 people is plenty. We're 2 people and we're having a great conversation, and I don't know how I would have this conversation with you if there were 1,999 other people around here.
Right.
I'd have to also talk to that person and that person and that person and that person. And like, this is plenty. And so like going back to visualizing and understanding what 4 people in a room look like, what 10 people look like, 20 people will fill this room, 50 people, that's black box theater. 1,200 seats is that's the Paramount Theater for me in Oakland, and it's like,
Right.
I know what that feels like, and that is surely enough.
Yeah, we live now, right? We kind of spoke about it between the break of like the expectation of success for a project it's a little skewed, and it's heavily skewed against the true landscape that we're operating out of right now. I think we need to go back and reach for getting 10 quality people back into a room over having 100,000 people. We don't even know who's bots. We don't know what's just, things that are being supplied from a place that doesn't exist. Where's the real conversation? Where's the real, we do get to see the examples of that. And I've seen the Twitch chats that are still straight walls, but I've seen 70,000 people inside of a Twitch channel, and there's nothing being said, and there's nothing being discussed, and there's nothing, I don't know if that's what this was created for, if that's what we made these social platforms to be,
Yeah.
Is it just the best billboard ever, or is it true places of community?
Right. I think it's one of these things where, folks who are seeing this from business perspective, understandably will always say it's not enough. But I think that it's important to come back and remember like how audacious it would be for me to go, Asti, this conversation's not enough because it's only you in here.
Oh, sorry, there's not enough people in here.
Yeah, there's not enough
go.
people for me to show up because it's
Right.
just going to be me talking to you. Like how audacious that is. And say, no, Asti, come back when you got 100 more people to sit in this room. Then I'll come back. It's like show up for the people who are showing up for you is such a mindset that I think that as humans, we are fully capable of doing. But when we are up against an industry that says it's constantly, that's not enough, that's not worth it, you need to have these numbers for you to be relevant, capable of sustaining this, like with a sponsorship, whatever it is. It's like when you're being told those things, it's so easy to let go of it. So I sincerely hope that, the inflated numbers that I fully understand have benefited me because I started at a point where those numbers were just already there, like I get the hypocrisy where I'm like, well, I've had the numbers and I've been able to
Mario,
rest on those
throne of
laurels.
impressions.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's interesting because, but I hope, with so many people understandably wanting to create in this world, to hopefully continue creating and not get bogged down by not having 2,000, but having 2 people, because those 2 people will carry you through. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
who better to give that message at the end of the day? Who's somebody who has truly been a part of seeing this entire fabric, this entire landscape get crafted in front of everybody. You were part of really seeing, the canvas, and then seeing the meme culture evolve into hi-fi, back into lo-fi, back into a very corporate place, into the fall, into where are we going?
Yeah.
You are part of this even more so because you're co-owner of Space Station Gaming. We've referenced it a little bit earlier. What's going on? First of all, how do you step into those huge shoes, big opportunity, and then what's the vibes like? What you guys getting into?
It is homegrown all the way through. I stepped into the role by having a conversation with Sean, who I knew from the past. And the first time that I saw him at an esports anything, I used to go to Smite World Championships every year, and I saw him there, but I had never seen him within a gaming context. And I was like, dude, what are you doing here? And he's like, I started a team. And I'm like, what? He's like, we loved Smite, so we started a team. And I'm like, instant fan.
You're like, okay, where's the jersey?
Exactly. And so then years later down the line, I'm still in gaming. I'm still at Smosh Games, and I'm still doing the thing. And I'm like, Sean, like, I'm like lost. I'm like, I don't know how to give back to the community, like in a greater role than just being a clown on the internet that people come to for entertainment. It's dumbing down what content I was making at the end of the day. It's like, I sincerely believe that we were able to, through our comedy, like, get people through like hard times and things like that. In the same way that like I now understand. Before I was like, no, I didn't. But like now I understand it from a perspective where I'm like, Linkin Park got me through hard times. My Chemical Romance got me through hard times. And then like they, it's like, it wasn't that they helped me. They were just on the background while I was getting myself through it.
You don't get to choose what heals you, Mari. You don't get to choose what your medicine is, but you got to take it.
Emo rage music helps me. But, like, I understand that, like, Smosh Games was on the background for a lot of people while they got through that part of their life, And so even though that was a reality, I'm like, I don't know how to directly impact more. I want to create more opportunities for people to be in this industry because I've had an amazing time. Gaming is one of those things where it's very easy to see the asinine sort of headlines of like how terrible it is for people to get into gaming, especially women. And at the same time, I'm like, where are the headlines where it's like, yes, that's absolutely true. And at the same time, there are folks who absolutely lift you up.
Right.
And that should also be a narrative. It shouldn't be a narrative where it continuously scares women out of this industry. It should be like, it's like, yes, there are bad actors like in every industry, and there are like 100 more people who are like, you're great, and we're gonna lift you up, and we're gonna do this together. And so I was talking to Sean, and I'm like, I don't know how to do this. Do I start my own org? Do I what do I do? And out of conversations, he's like, why don't you join us? And I'm like, I don't know what that means, but I absolutely have felt the vibes from the beginning, and I'm so honored.
And you're a space head.
I'm a space head. I
So
love
also
space.
like the branding was like already like perfectly in tune with that.
It was-
What's your fascination with space?
I have the true belief that space brings people together, and I love that.
Put that on a t-shirt. Space brings people together.
So, like, I've worked with the Planetary Society, which is run by Bill Nye, and it was started by Carl Sagan. Bill. Oh, this is like a nostalgia episode. Sorry.
Hey, I'm here for it. What?
But they work alongside NASA. They lobby Congress every year so that NASA has funding and stuff like that. And so that's kind of the avenue I've worked with them on. And, you know, being like on Capitol Hill is interesting because you see both sides of like politics. And the one thing that like continuously from my experience, space has been a really, really strong hold of both sides of the aisle that brings people together. And in a time where there is so much calamity everywhere and it's so easy to be triggered by anything, I'm like, space has always been the thing where it's just like, I don't know, you see yourself up from there and you see just little we are and how beautiful it all this is.
It's closer than ever. You can take those kind of flights now. Who's sponsoring the Mari flights? Have you gone up in?
Have they had gamers in space yet?
Have you haven't gone up like
No,
on one of those like little?
I've been on the parabolic ones.
Right, but not like the ones that they have some like.
I know. I haven't been on a true space flight yet. First
I don't
gamer
know.
in space.
It's easy.
Yeah.
With that resume, I don't know how it doesn't happen. That's over 2 million followers across all platforms. How do I plug Homie harder? Well, oh my
would be
goodness. We could
cool.
literally speak on the industry and on so many amazing things for hours. I feel like we have just so many great thoughts, and I'd love to chat more with you, but why don't let's bring some games into the equation. I know.
Sure, let's do it.
I know your team usually plays a lot of Rocket League, and they're very,
Yes.
very well known in that community. They play other games as well. Go follow Space Station Gaming if you
Please
don't,
do.
and
Please
look
do.
at all the amazing
now in
things their creators are
Overwatch
doing.
and Brawl Stars and Apex as well, along with Rainbow Six Siege and Halo. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
the whole
and
the
PUBG.
gamut. The
Oh my
gamut.
goodness. and Rocket League, as mentioned before.
Really tight at Rocket League. Like,
Yeah.
really smooth. But
Yeah.
we're going to go and play some Mario Kart. Is that sacrilege?
Oh my goodness.
Is that like, hey, Rocket League, but we're going to play some Mario. But it's just, we both have been gaming for a long time. I don't know if anybody could tell from the episode of us aging ourselves a little bit, but we've been gamers for a long time. And a big part of a common thread through all of that has been Nintendo Entertainment, has been Mario Party and Mario Kart and playing with the family. So you didn't even know that recently they added all the old tracks from Mario Kart remastered inside of the.
No, it's one of those things where in a time where games come out with a new iteration of an IP all the time, I'm like, we're still on Mario Kart 8. Let's go. They're still doing stuff in it.
They said, no, we ain't even finished yet. Added value, baby. We got
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
We're gonna jump into our Eureka ergonomic chairs, and I'm gonna throw an ad from our friends. You might recognize a familiar face. Get into the Omen Game Time segment. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your man, Oski Champ, and I'm here at the HyperX Arena, so excited to introduce you to our brand new chair partner, Eureka Ergonomic. Right here, you can see the Python 2, more traditional gaming chair. The thing that stands out to me, of course, is this beautiful material that they created with, super easy to clean. And then on top of that, this movable platform that gives you your lower lumbar support is so adjustable. It moves, meets you exactly where you're at for all those clutch moments. We also have the Typhoon Hybrid model, which is amazing. It is so adjustable, everything from the head to the lower lumbar supports, just a way that you're able to even move the seating area forward and backward for people that want to put their legs out further in front of them. Truly an amazing piece of smart furniture with an ergonomic S-curve that is unparalleled in the industry. Now, I could talk about these chairs all day, but what you can do is go to our landing page on eurekaergonomic.com to get your hands on these chairs yourself. That's all from me. Peace. Well, we're rolling and we're back and we're live in the building at the HyperX Arena with my friend, Miss Mari Takahashi.
Hello.
You have been atomic today.
Have I?
Thank you for coming through,
Oh my
honestly.
goodness.
It's been a treat.
I'm happy to be here.
You ready to play some games?
Yeah, let's do it.
We got some Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Oh my gosh.
Full
What is that?
DLC'd out.
The saxophone? The saxophone sounds so good. Oh, hello.
Yeah, no, don't get me started. This is Nintendo Music.
Nintendo Music is so
They
good.
know.
Yeah.
Ever since it's even been 8-bit sounds, you're sitting over there like, I
Yeah.
think rappers are still sampling their music to this day, chopping it and reversing it, and you're like, wait, is that the boss battle from like some Sonic soundtrack? You're
Yeah.
like, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so good that we memed the lobby music for the Wii. Like,
No, honestly, that
every
music,
bit is good.
and like all this, like the silly little dances they do to it.
Yeah. Yes. There's something
good.
about it where, I don't know, it goes back to like they take it very seriously, but not too seriously.
Right.
I don't
right.
know. There's a very good mixture there.
I love it.
They keep it just silly enough.
They know how to make the tone really important with what the soundscape is, right? Sound design is one of the biggest parts of the game, and not a lot of people even think about it, but like the fact that you heard that sound come from the right when that was coming to the right, it
Yeah.
makes your brain just that much more clicked in,
I'm
right?
kind of like a anti-audiophile in the sense that I don't get it.
You don't get
like,
it?
Yeah, like I don't have the ear for it. You know, like my husband is a musician, so he'll be
Okay.
like, "Ooh, do you hear the trill coming in?" I'm like, "I don't hear any of that.
You're
I
like-
just hear the melody."
You're like, I'm
you
just
know?
excited to be here.
Oh my gosh, I am pretty like not good with that, but
Audio's crazy.
yeah.
It is insane.
But songs stay in my head, and I think that is like that's a thing that was really moving, especially when I was still dancing. I would choreograph to like Final Fantasy music and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
And it's like beautiful. Oh my gosh.
I can imagine. Yeah, some of those orchestrations are insane.
Yeah.
If you choose versus race, you get to choose your races. But I think, I wonder if I don't want to play against you. Can we be homies?
I
Oh
know.
my gosh, what does that mean? Oh
Can
my
we?
gosh.
Oh my gosh, it's a horrifying
That
me.
is cursed.
I mean, I'm so sorry. You look fantastic.
It's not mine, so no offense taken, trust me, because we use these for our Saturday Night Speedway tournaments, our big like, Mario
Gotcha.
Kart tournaments every Saturday,
Yeah.
and we just got all the DLCs on them, so I know all the people are gonna be super happy.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nintendo, they finally finished dropping these. I think I'm gonna go with my boy Diddy Kong.
Oh, Diddy. I always go Shy Guy.
I used to be a Metal Mario
Oh
guy.
man. A is B, B is A, where I'm on a Nintendo controller.
What is you like when you were growing up? What system did you have that you were playing?
Sega
on?
Genesis was like
Okay.
my first system
What
that
was your
felt
favorite
like
game you were playing on there?
I loved Road Rash.
The game is wild.
Yeah, you're
those
on
old driving games.
you're on motorbikes chain whipping people.
That
Like,
is a
it
wild
is
concept.
So aggressive
Yeah,
for
yeah.
no reason. Yeah, I loved that.
So many of those games before things were like, let's run it through a political correctness check. Or let's run it through like if this is.
Oh my
you're like,
gosh,
wait,
there
what?
was none of that.
What's going on?
Jeez, they're like political correctness. What is
it.
that even?
You newfangled kids and your vocabulary words.
Yeah, definitely vocab words that we didn't have.
But I'm thankful.
Oh my
I'm
gosh, I
super
wanna
thankful for him being here. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I'm glad that we get to especially operate in a space that's very accepting, and we think about how what we say affects people in that way. Like,
Can you believe that it happened in our lifetime? Like so much change happened in our one lifetime. It's incredible.
it's exponential.
Yeah.
Like,
And like all the things that were like in your head, we were like, wait a minute, this feels kind of like sus. And then all of a sudden it's like, there's a million other people being like, yeah, it's sus. And it's like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I wasn't crazy.
You're
This
like,
was,
me too.
This
Like,
made
literally.
me feel weird. Okay, good.
no, it's I don't feel like it's improved every aspect of life, but it's definitely improved
It is
the
a
baseline of life.
major improvement.
It's improved the baseline of everybody's existence. The fact that it's not okay to just be out there disrespecting people.
Yeah.
No matter who they are, or where they come from, or where you think you operate out of.
I think at the very least, being able to start conversations without it being, like offset as like a, no, we don't talk about those things.
Mm-hmm.
And like being able to be heard in a room is like, that's insane. That is such a good place to be.
What CC are we supposed to race? What do you want to race? Where are you comfortable? I don't.
Let's go 100.
Okay.
We'll go right down,
teams.
right down
We
the
get
middle.
teams. Okay.
Oh, that's
CC.
great.
We're gonna team against these hardcom. It's gonna go crazy. All right. All right, we're red. We're red guys.
Yeah, red guys.
It's actually perfect because I have the red hat on. Look, we actually populated with a bunch of red cats too.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right. So, this is an insane game. I told you, our friend Mari has never seen this insane catalog of racetracks. They have tracks, and then when you go in, you actually get to see like, I think you can see where they're from. Oh yeah, see above where they all come from.
Oh my gosh.
Like from the Game Boy Advance, the Riverside Park, and the GameCube's Luigi.
I did not play this on Game Boy Advance.
Yeah,
I don't think I did. Or the 3D. I don't think I played it on 3DS.
I played Mario Kart 7 on DS for sure. That was a really good game. Shout out Mario Kart 7.
I played was Sims on DS, and I was like, I had to like sell the game because I'm like, this is disgusting. I haven't come out of my room in like 5 days.
I was a young person when I first got Sims, and my parents really weren't about those adult types of games. Right?
Yeah.
And I had a secret copy of it from a homie, and then this one kid snitched and told his mom, who told my mom, and I got beat, and they broke the game in half.
It went.
They broke it, and I remember me and that kid were tight.
No
but
more.
after then, op.
Wow.
You're my enemy. Like no, it was on site.
You heard it here. Sims, it breaks apart friendships.
Well,
if you snitch.
Let's start on New York. I've never done this. It's on Mario Kart Tour. It's the mobile game that they
Tour?
have.
I've never played
there's a mobile Mario Kart game.
I bet it's good.
And yeah, they say it's spectacular.
I bet it's
But we both have a background of being around New York and doing things in New York. My family lives in New York.
Okay. Did you grow up there? No, you grew up in
I
Las
was a
Vegas.
military kid.
Okay.
So we moved around a lot, and I would actually always go to like the upstate New York, like Hudson Valley area, around like Marist College and like Poughkeepsie area. I'm not sure if you know this.
No, I don't.
But there's like the Culinary Institute of America there, and Marist College, which is about to become Marist University. So
Okay.
shout out Marist. But I used to be over there every summer and spend a lot of my time over there. And then nationally we go into the city a lot. And now my wife can't stay away from Broadway, so
Oh, that's awesome.
we're always out there trying to go to shows, and at least she goes to the show, and I'll be the babysitter. I still love musical theater, but you know, I just happen to fall asleep a lot when you get me stuck like that. It's my ADD. It's not because of any reason in particular. I just in a quiet room with some great vibes. Forced to sit still. Oh, hello, Paulina. Yeah, get by.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, no. I gotta get out the middle of this pack. It's getting treacherous.
There's water.
It's getting treacherous down here. Where you at? Oh, you're up there.
I'm around.
All right, I'm going item hunting. Forget about trying to do well. I'm just gonna stay way back and get the
All
best
right, bye,
items.
Toad. Oh wait, was Toad on our team? I forgot it's
Yeah.
teams.
Is there friendly fire?
There absolutely is.
Oh,
if
wait.
Toad is on our team.
Yeah, no, he is
Oh.
red. Everybody that was red was here.
Oh my gosh! I just went for whoever was there. Oh.
Oh, wait, that was me.
Sorry.
No, I hit you.
Oh really?
I think. Did you hit the show?
I don't
Okay,
know.
okay.
Oh, that's a banana.
That's not me.
That's a banana.
Not me.
Oh my goodness. This is a fun track.
I wonder how it plays on mobile. Like, how do you even play this game on mobile?
You have to have very small kid hands, I think.
Very agile finger experience. Cause no way.
Oh.
No, they're launching Valorant on mobile.
Oh, I believe it. Honestly, mobile is like, it's such a sleeper here in the States, but for the rest of the world, it is the way to game. Because, I mean, obviously, it's hard to have a console. It's like, okay.
It is, right? And then on top, once you get the console, you gotta buy for the internet or
Oh my
whatever it is
gosh.
on the console, and then you also have to have premium internet in your home. You gotta put the console by the Ethernet so you can actually get the downloads and the
It's
latency.
so
It's
much.
like, sheesh. Okay, so where do I sign up for the iPhone 12?
Yes.
For the $0 a month. This
Yeah.
last year's thing.
It's very, very easy. Oh, are you serious?
I didn't even know. I
When?
didn't even know we were about to laugh.
When?
Hey, it's-
Wait, the last time I saw you, you were in fourth, and I was like chilling and sick.
I had like a full fire flower. I'm just like kind of coasting.
That's awesome.
Hey, no. Wait.
Doing work for our team.
Okay, it's all right.
You
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Tanuki Mario.
No, and I was beating him up for a while, and because I totally forgot. Like, wait, yeah, we can't beat up our friends.
Yeah.
I hit him with, like double green shell.
Yeah, I busted up Toad, dude.
You didn't deserve this.
Sorry.
Where did you first play Mario Kart? What generation that comes out on GameCube? Was
GameCube.
it on the Double Dash?
But not a lot though. It never really struck me. Like for me, GameCube was synonymous with Luigi's Mansion. And I think I stopped playing with like I didn't have a lot of people to play with when I had the GameCube, which is really sad. It's a sad reality to remember that. I know. It just came out.
Because that was the first mobile Nintendo, you think about it.
I know, I could just bring it
you had some
like
friends,
a little lunch pail.
Brought that everywhere.
I know. It's a sad, it just poured out of me, dude. That's so sad, but it's real. I didn't have a lot of people to play with, so I was playing Luigi's Mansion.
So let me just get these ghosts taken care of.
Oh my God.
Got my backpack. That's all I need.
That's the first time I realized that.
Well, let me just bring you back to your trauma. We're gonna go to Baby Park, where if you were playing this game with friends, you would have no doubt played those shows. You would play this too much. This is like the peak GameCube experience. I feel like out here in the tournaments, people will pray for this park to be rolling because it's crazy. It's always 7 laps of chaos. It's the smallest track in Mario Kart.
Have you been to the Universal Studios Mario Land?
Yes.
They did such a good job.
Too good. I just went recently. When did you gone?
Oh my gosh.
Did you go when it first started? You're
Bro, A is B, B is A. I can't.
Not all B's are A's.
I've been playing Power World all week.
Oh really? You want some Power World? Actually, where are you at in your grind on Power World?
I just got myself a Quivern saddle, and I love it because Quivern is a twofer. You can ride on land with Quivern, and you can fly with Quivern. So it's a twofer. It's a BOGO deal.
Okay, you're getting your money's worth.
Yes.
You're getting your resources, your grind worth. That game becomes a grind.
It's such a grind, but it is my favorite type of game. I love a survival. I love.
And we talked about Nintendo a bit earlier, but like I really hope it really does help bring out that next level because nobody's been able to grab people's attention in that genre like Pokemon has, correct? So I hope that by them getting to see a little bit of what worked for somebody else, even if it doesn't fully align with their visions as a company or whatever they choose to do, in general, it would just be really cool to see what innovations and whatnot comes from that.
Yeah, I mean, I think like competition's always a good thing in any industry, and I thought it was interesting when Power World came out. People were treating Nintendo like they're a little indie company where they were wronged. They're like, poor Nintendo.
Right.
They're gonna they're stealing. Oh my God, that's my teammate. I'm so sorry.
Is it not my assets, Nintendo?
Yeah, and I'm like, Nintendo's got the best lawyers. Have we forgotten? We're fine.
They know what to do.
They're okay. Gosh, that was sad.
No, I'll put you in the blender.
No, I saw the first, and then I took out Tanuki Mario, who's kind of also.
He's been flying though. He's the only. I'm like, wait, why am I in second? Tanuki Mario.
Yeah, Tanuki Mario is kind of carrying for us.
But also,
anyway.
He's going crazy on you too, though. Like, it's not like you just attacking him. Like, I also see them. They're attacking us too. No, on God, they are. So like, I get his team, but ain't nothing sweet, ain't nothing friendly. We all trying to get this top
Tanuki
spot.
Mario is regressive. It's canon now. But yeah, I mean, with Nintendo, it's like Pokemon's gonna be fine. Pokemon is it is their. I don't even know how to describe how big it is. Like, when you go to Japan, you are welcomed into the country with like Pikachu. Like, they're gonna be fine. It's like bigger than Mickey Mouse.
Too big to fail.
Yeah, too big to fail. No one's gonna forget about it. But yeah, I think competition in any arena is good.
Yeah,
but
healthy competition though.
Yes.
It is disrespectful to steal people's assets. We're not advocating for that. If that was, but in general, I just like other players in the space. I like seeing other people trying to make something cool, trying to incorporate that that PAL mechanic that,
Totally.
gotta collect them all.
It is like we are living in the remix generation with like anything TikTok and everything, like where we take one thing and we kind of remix it a little bit and then we make it something different. And I think that's exactly what PAL World is. It's like it's taking the aspects of things that we like in survival games like Minecraft, and we're turning it into a collection game that we like in other games. It's like, I don't know. But I don't know. Nintendo will always remain, I think, like steadfast in
Real family
being,
entertainment.
Oh my gosh! And their games work on delivery, and like at a time.
To say, but we have to now.
We do. I mean, at a time where like a day before, just is a really good example of like a game where I think consumer trust went out the window, because it's like, what do you mean the game it doesn't work on delivery,
right?
And the company is just like, and now we're gone. Like
it's crazy.
I'm so
right?
sorry.
No, please. Like I said, it ain't sweet on the course though. We gonna get to ours.
But it's like at a time where it's at an all-time high of like people being like, oh my gosh, that joke got messed up. Like it's a question. It is a question that we shouldn't have to ask of like, is it gonna work?
Right.
And something similar happened like in the 80s. I think it was 83 when the gaming crash happened. The Atari was like really, really hot, and everybody wanted to get in on the Atari, and so there were all these third-party company. Oh my God, where are you going, Mark? Third-party companies that started making games that didn't deliver.
Right, they're not really what Atari's getting the recognition for.
Yeah.
Good quality content.
Exactly. It was like anyone could make it, so then consumers started going, oh wait, is this like a scam? And so the gaming industry literally fell apart, and Nintendo single-handedly brought it back. And it was partly because they were so tight with their restrictions. Mm-hmm. And I think they still kind of have that sort of reputation, whether it's, and it's controversial, but it's like whether it's taking down unsponsored, what do you call it? Tournaments, yeah.
Or like just like fan projects and
fan
things
projects,
like that, right?
Yeah. It's like, it is controversial in the sense that like, yeah, they'll take it down, but it's part of the reason why they were able to save an entire industry back then.
Right.
So, I don't know. It gets a bad rap, but at the same time, I'm like, I really respect the company.
And you have to at this point, because, the books show, the numbers don't lie. They really continue to be successful at innovating in a space that historically, you could get one or two. You're not gonna get to be Elder Scrolls, where even then you think about when Elder Scrolls was cool to who it was cool to, but until like Oblivion or until it got to Skyrim, it wasn't like everybody knew what an Elder Scrolls game was.
Right.
So it's really difficult to become a publisher that stays relevant over generations of gamers, over generations of formats, and I can't say I've played every Nintendo game, but they always capture the essence of what makes a game feel like a game and feel like a connecting moment between you and the person that's also sitting across the world from you doing it. So
yeah, even if they are incredibly upsetting games like Mario Party.
The friendship enders.
The friendship enders,
no.
Yes.
I've seen people's friendships end on this game too, though. I mean, it's another one here.
Oh yeah. Oh, I have legitimately cried after a Mario Kart tournament that we had at Smosh. I was just so upset at myself.
When did you do that? What year was that?
It must have been like 2015.
Okay.
And we did a full like circuit with the 6 of us, and it was a full round robin, and we took it really seriously for some reason. And I played so badly, consistently that I was in tears, and like, I have always been surrounded by incredible people, like really just, I don't know, so uplifting, and they're like, we're so sorry, dude. I'm like, I'm not mad at you, I'm mad at myself. Leave me alone.
I could have done better. Yeah. It's me. Well, what better way? It's our last race. What better way to end it off than with some classic, a Rainbow Road?
Oh, I'm gonna cry.
Why not? Cry here.
It's good.
If you cry anywhere, cry here.
Love it.
Well,
I love it.
it's really been a pleasure. We'll save a sign off for after, but this is the last race, so I gotta lock in. I don't know if you know, I got 3 first place.
I know you did. You're carrying our team.
I need this 4th one.
Yes.
I swear I've been able to get 3 firsts so many times, but that 4th race, no matter what, just happened to get something else.
It's
impossible to lock it in sometimes.
You're gonna lock it in.
We're locking it in right here. It's username taken. And just so y'all know, even though this is the finale, we're gonna be rolling out bonus content in between our break for season 2 drops. So you guys stay close, stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed up. Make sure you follow us on all the places you listen to podcasts. We're getting into this final race on Rainbow Road.
So scary.
Too scary. It's a beautiful one though, always. The song too is speaking of those jazzy libations, vibrations.
I'm just trying to stay on your heel here.
Uh-oh. Hey, you'll be my, you're gonna push me forward in the race. I like that.
Yeah, I'll tank for you.
No, hey, that's the team race right there. Like, no red shells.
Yeah.
I get all your red shells. No, that's crazy. I don't want that for you. I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
Oh my goodness.
This is a very tame Rainbow Road though, compared to, I feel like the Wii one it's got some big, wide avenues that we can kind of be on. But some Rainbow Roads, like, yeah, nah, you're not staying on here. Good.
Yeah, this is, oh no.
There's fire on me.
There's fire on you?
Yeah, like as I was falling to the earth, there was like fire.
I am scared to use my mushroom.
What?
I don't want to use it.
It's powerful. It's powerful. Oh, wait. Oh. How was it me? How was it me? I was hard second. Ain't no way.
Really? You got blue shell?
The blue shell hit me a second.
No. Oh, because it's probably teams?
Oh, man. Hey, hold up. Wait, you're cooking. Hold up.
Do you think?
I don't know. I've been hitting people all day, but that one is actually like targeted. You know, it's a homing
Yeah,
missile,
it might not target on.
You're a genius. Hold up. Hold up. Or could.
I like that. It's canon now. I'm a genius.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Somebody has said it now. Just print it. No. Weren't you just recently doing some work with an FX show with Shogun?
Oh my gosh.
What was up with that?
They asked me to make stuff, and okay, so first they asked me to make like social content for them, and I was super jazzed, and I went really like hardcore on it.
Okay.
Didn't have to. They're like, you could just vlog, and I'm like, nah, dude, I'm gonna make a short film. So did that with a bunch of friends out here in Vegas. Filmmakers out here in Vegas. And oh my gosh.
And now I'm getting rainbow roaded.
And
Vegas filmmakers.
And then they also asked me to like host at their 2 Michelin star like presentation with their actors and producers from the actual show.
Yeah.
It's such a cool show. I mean, it's like they really are harping on just like how much integrity goes into the making of the show and how much like historical and cultural context they put into it, and really appreciate that, you know. And it's like we're at a time where that is appreciated by not only like people making it and like studios, but people watching it as well. So yeah, it's a good time, man. Oh, those are a lot
Final
of fun.
blue shell. Who did it hit? Oh, it might have hit the other homie. It might have hit the other homie. This is Aussie champs. His lane. He's in there.
Let's go.
I'm falling in the same place 3 laps, and that's gonna be. If I didn't learn, I didn't learn. And
No. My small improvement meant that you're falling from first.
Nah, you know, it's text, but I could not get the 4 wins if I tried.
You know what it is? It was your mentality. You put it in.
I changed it.
You put it in your head.
I was locked in.
Before.
I was locked in.
Hey, but we took it though. 190,
Let's
196
go.
and 132.
Get body,
Let's
Blue
go.
Squad. Yeah.
Inkling boy, that's what you get.
It's honestly like light work throughout. Like I couldn't even imagine the time we sweated. You know,
I didn't fall down that Rainbow Road at all. What?
I never fell. I never got hit by anything. I never screamed at my competition.
It was like really chill the entire time, and I think I was like really articulate too.
Hey, Hey, no, low-key, we were spitting. I don't know what about. We'll have to watch back that pod, but
It's not gonna be. I'm gonna be saying fragments of words. And be like, you got that right. You know what I mean.
any final words for the people that have gotten to this point in our wonderful time with you?
Oh my goodness. I mean, first of all, thank you so much for having me.
course.
I really appreciate it. And thank you for watching. I hope there was some stuff that you could glean from it. And wherever you are in your journey, I hope you're enjoying it. And, have patience with yourself, be nice to yourself, and surround yourself with good people. They'll carry you through for sure.
Big facts. That's many nuggets. More nuggets in this piece right here than a lot of people could even go get with some real money in the world and pay for somebody to tell them some stuff. So I appreciate you immeasurably for the amount of knowledge and just experience that you've given to everything that we've done here today.
Heck yeah.
I want to give a wonderful shout out, of course, to HyperX Arena, Allied Gaming and Entertainment for making this whole thing possible. This season has been absolute pleasure to get filming on, and can't wait to see what's coming up next. Also want to give love to Eureka Ergonomic and to our friends at HP Omen, who have been an integral part of bringing the Omen Game Time segment live. It's been a treat. We have more amazing things coming at you in the coming months, so stay close. Like I said, subscribe to the pod, leave a like, comment something, tell somebody that would enjoy this, and get this thing spread out. We got amazing lessons in here, amazing paths to the field that so many people would love to have a seat at. And that's all I could say. With that, signing off. Have a wonderful day. And like Miss Mari said, be nice to people. Peace.
Bye. Woo.
Sure.